Okay, an hour and 40 minutes later of playing, I finished the game with a German loss. So the Germans had to get to one of these deployment points in the first turn, and they failed. As close as they got is here. But I tried a lot of things, and I learned some ways I could have maybe done it with smoke, for one. These guys need a runner or a forward observer for their mortar, but I also think maybe the mortar is not worth it because when is it? The mortar is good for smoke, so definitely do that. Came up with a lot of questions during the game. Seemed pretty fun. It seems like I need to give it a couple more tries to see what kind of see what I think and kind of get the flow of it. You know, there's just lots of little markers and things to know, and and the cool thing is I did a live stream on Facebook and on the Disposable Heroes fan page, Disposable Heroes Miniatures Game fan page, and Kieth Stine, the author, was there answering some questions as I played, so that was pretty cool. But it's fun doing the live stream. I tried to do a hangout. I can't do it on my phone. I have to do a hangout. I have to hook up my computer and do all that. So it's cool. So the deployment zones are here. Some things. First fire. I first fired on the Russians. First fire means no cover modifiers, and the incapacitation suppression roll is an 8 and an 8. So basically you're going to die unless you roll a 9 or a 10. So that was killer. The beaten zones thing is, so the beaten zone is where you, and basically said, imagine it's somewhere, they've got line of sight to it, and they can fire. So I could fire anywhere. Basically you can, it's almost magic. And and I had a 76 infantry gun here. So using direct fire weapons that way is really cool, but there is a limitation. So I thought it was like overpowered. So I set it here and I really wiped out a unit. They came back and regrouped back here. But the thing is, once you've set it, you can only move it 3 inches at a time, which is about like that. So the problem is you move it 3 inches, but it's also 6 inches wide. So, you know, it's like that wide. But you move it 3 inches at a time. So it's pretty powerful, but it's also not powerful because you can't move it as much. So like I had set a beaten zone over here with a machine gun. Well, then I was able to fire at the unit that was over here because it was within 6 inches. All you have to do is reach one of the units. So I moved them up, they got out of it. I was going to have no, so it is interesting. So like just learning these kind of things. So like I had 2 activations left. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to rush them and close combat these guys that aren't there anymore. They were suppressed. Then I thought, wait a minute, I should fire and try to eliminate some of the guys because they were outnumbered. The Germans who were attacking were outnumbered by the number of Russians. So then I realized I could use 1 activation because the Russians at this point had none left. So it was all Germans. So the Germans decided to move them up to the edge of the woods. They couldn't snap fire. No one could snap fire and then fire on them. So I was going to suppress them again, maybe get rid of some units. Well, what happened is I gave them 5 suppressions and they left. When you get 5 suppressions, you leave the field of battle immediately. All right, so that's that. It was fun. There's some things that I'm not sure about, so either I'll try another game immediately or I'll try this same scenario with Chain of Command. But tomorrow I get to bleach the deck. Fun times. See ya.